This, Mr. Speaker, because in the late 80s, 70s, we knew that if it's lunch hour, we would run to the media stations to hear the latest news, what is happening across the country. And thereafter, we would hear the radio stations singing patriot. Every few sentences, there is an interlude of betting, something being brought that people are told, now put 50 shillings and you get 100,000 or whatever amount of money. And in the background, you hear somebody screaming, I have gotten my 100,000. So even if Mama Mboga is preparing to prepare dinner for her children, and she has 100 shillings in her phone, what she'll turn back and do, it is to take the 50 shillings, remove 50, bet, expecting the 100,000, which may never forthcome, and at the end of it all, the children sleep hungry. Mr. Speaker, according to the Communication Authority of Kenya, this country has stations that are mostly ethical. So these messages are communicated in the language that even the Mama Mboga, even the person who does not understand any other language will understand. Mr. Speaker, and instead of these stations talking objectively of things that are happening in the country, they have become a recipe for making our families poorer. Families have become more poorer because they want to get rich quickly and they are enticed to easy money. Mr. Speaker, sir, this has become an economic activity of easy making money from some unscrupulous individuals in this country. What I would say, Mr. Speaker, it is absolutely immoral, it is ungodly, it is not right for somebody to make money out of the vulnerable, the most vulnerable members of the society. Mr. Speaker, sir, these media houses have gone even further, and far from what we are thinking, that it is only the young generation which is affected by this, it is not true. People are taking even their pensions and they end up going to this betting and gambling game. Mr. Speaker, a survey done by the Central Bank and by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, it indicates that the elderly people bet 49 times a week. On average, this is much higher than the 41.4 of all the other age groups. And what this tells us, Mr. Speaker, these lotteries and prize money are conducted mostly by the television and radio stations. And vernacular stations, as I had indicated earlier, are the most notorious on this. And this is why, Mr. Speaker, most of the people who even take their pension after falling prey and victims of this, they end up paupers and they go to an early grave. Mr. Speaker, I want to state that this country is contending with a raft of issues that are affecting our youth very, very negatively. We are talking of drugs, we are talking of beer, we are talking of very many other negative things that our youth have been engaged in. And these vices are so deeply entrenched in our society that they are not going to spare any of us. School-going children, we have had, there are a lot of dropouts. We have had, there is rampant absenteeism in our schools. We know too well that all these accumulate to negative effects in our society. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to support this motion, and I wish to say, ask Honorable Madenge, let us escalate it at another level so that we don't just talk here, because it is evident that in the year 2021, the Betting and Licensing Board was given a green light to stop this vice, but it seems that they don't have the powers to do that. Mr. Speaker, I support and say these negative social trends in our society must stop. It is us, this House, that has the powers to bring this vice to an end. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.